everybody, it's Chris Seeds, known online as Wootini, here with another Gay Gamer video podcast. Starting with a, well, it won't be a quick movie review because I have a whole rant, but I saw Halloween Ends. I did not go to the theater to see it because I knew I wasn't going to like it, and so I wasn't about to waste my time going all the way into the city to go to a theater and sit through 20 minutes of trailers just to see this movie. I will stream it on Peacock. Also, that way I can see it with my husband, who wanted to see it, and that way we can see it together, because he won't go to the theater with me. But it was not worth the trip to the theater. I was not a fan of the 2018 Halloween or Halloween Kills. Halloween Kills was even worse than Halloween. Those movies didn't track for me because basically it erased the continuity of all of the other Halloween movies. Only the very first movie happened. So basically, Michael Myers killed 3 teenagers and a truck driver from out of town. And the entire town acts like he's the devil incarnate, and Laurie Strode is in survivalist mode with her guns and ammo in her like armored shack and everything, like completely gone bonkers. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, he literally killed like 3 teenagers in Haddonfield on Halloween night. Like, yes, he killed 3 of your friends, so yes, that's traumatic, but still, like, and he's locked up. That's the other thing. Michael has been locked up for 40 years, and she's convinced he's coming back after her. Why? I don't know. He killed 3 people. Is he that determined to finish the job that he messed up on Halloween night, 1978? I don't know. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And then in Halloween Kills, like, everybody's all just like, oh, he's evil incarnate. And it's like, he killed 3 people. Then, over the course of Halloween and Halloween Kills, which take place in one night, he kills dozens of people in Haddonfield. Dozens. So now when we enter Halloween Ends, 4 years have passed. Michael has killed dozens of people in this town and is currently on the loose somewhere. Yet Laurie is now like happy homemaker grandma in a little house, and the town acts like it's no big deal anymore. That whole paranoid, crazy town from Halloween Kills, they're all fine now, even though he's on the loose. And I'm just like, this doesn't make any logical sense. Like, what? So it got off right on the wrong foot, because nobody was acting as though the events of the previous movie had happened. Laurie's daughter was murdered in the end of the last movie, and she's like, I'm coming after you. Well, in the extended cut, I found out. Like, her daughter was killed. Michael is in the wind somewhere, and she's all just like baking pies and making jack-o'-lanterns, and I'm just like, what? So it already was starting off bad, and then it's almost 2 full hours, and it's just a mess. Like, it goes off in this other tangent, and it's not about Michael and Laurie, and it does this other thing, and it's like it's trying to say something about the nature of evil or something, but it's done so poorly and vaguely that it doesn't actually make any sense. And then they're finally, at the end, they're like, oh shit, that's right, we've got to wrap up this Laurie Michael thing. And the last, like, 10 minutes is just so disappointing and rushed and stupid, and I'm just like, what? That's what these 3 movies were building to? No. So I have a box set on the shelf that's the complete Halloween, the complete collection. And I don't care that they made these 3 movies. They don't go in there. They don't count. I'll never watch them again. So it is still technically the complete collection. So yeah, it's garbage. Don't watch it. Don't waste your time. If you do, you'll be very disappointed. I know there's some people who seem to like it. I don't know why, because it's terrible. But yeah. As for games, I, as you might have predicted, if you were a betting person, the odds would be really low though, because this was clearly, obviously not going to happen. I did not play Pokemon. Duh. I decided that it was October and I should play something scary for Halloween kind of thing. Unfortunately, I had already played Man of Medan, and I didn't want to spend money on any of the others. And I'm still waiting for the price to come down further on the Quarry. So what I ended up doing was looking through my PlayStation Plus library and seeing what I had that was Halloweeny, and I ended up going with A Plague Tale Innocence, which I know it's not technically Halloweeny or scary, but there are some parts of it when those rats start swarming and everything, it's nasty and it's a little bit disturbing and gross. So it's scary enough that I think it works. It's Halloween adjacent. But I added it to my library like way back in the day because it was a free game with PlayStation Plus, but it was only the PlayStation 5 version. It wasn't a combo PS4, PS5 like they do more often than not. This was strictly just for PS5. So I couldn't even add it until I went on like the website because you can't add a PS5 game with your PS4. So I added that knowing at some point I was going to get a PS5 so I could play it then. So here I am now that I have a PS5 and I am playing it. And I like it, which is surprising to me because I didn't really know anything about it aside that people said it was really good. So I start playing it and I discover that the basic premise is you're this teenage girl in medieval France, and the Inquisition attacks your family. They want your little brother, so you have to try to save your little brother and escape. And you're basically just constantly on the run, protecting your little brother from Inquisition soldiers and then swarms of rats that will kill you with one bite. So the whole thing is one giant escort mission. It's taking two game genres that I'm not a big fan of, and the entire game is an escort mission with a lot of stealth. And I'm like, ugh. So that's not cool. But I'm still playing it. It's not too bad. The actual escorting of your brother is not too horrible. You can separate, and you have to sometimes to solve puzzles and whatever, but the stealth gets a little frustrating, I will say that. Thankfully, when you do get caught and killed, the game, when you restart the game, because it's a PS5, it's instantaneous loading, like it's like seconds. So if I was playing it on a PS4 and it was a longer load time, I might be getting more frustrated with the constant dying every time I get caught. Because you're not supposed to go this way, you're supposed to go that way, but then you gotta go this way and you gotta go do that, and then you know, it's like figuring out how to get through. So it can get a little frustrating, but it hasn't gotten so frustrating that I'm ready to give up yet. Not yet. We'll see. I think I'm almost halfway through. It's kind of flying by. I don't think it's a super long game. But it's pretty straightforward. Like the chapters, they're all pretty linear. Like you go where you're supposed to go. And there's some slight variations, and you can choose how to avoid and stealth your way past the guards. Like you could go this way and make a distraction. You can go that way behind the wall. You know, like sometimes you don't have to make a distraction, you know. So you can kind of decide like which kind of distraction you want to make, that sort of thing, whatever. So there's not a whole lot of variety though. Like it's very linear and you go where you gotta go. There are some other paths, but those are not an alternate route. It's just sort of like if you go over there, there might be some additional supplies that you can get. But that's super frustrating because there's guards and stuff. So when you're stealthing around, like when you're just exploring, whatever, it's okay. You can go over there and check it out and get some stuff. But when you're stealthing, it's really difficult to like justify risking going over there to get the additional supplies when you might get caught and have to restart your game again and go back to the checkpoint and do everything all over again. And so you have to weigh that option. But it's so far, it's good. The graphics are nice, but it's weird that the controls, like, I was like, oh, this game's very pretty. You know, I mean, it's all upgraded for the PS5 and all, so it's very detailed and pretty. And then I started to move the character, like, right at the very beginning of the game, and I was like, what are these Resident Evil tank controls? Like, what is happening right now? Like, oof. So I'm hoping that they kind of fix that for the sequel, and maybe the controls are a little smoother and more natural. But, yeah, so I'm playing A Plague Tale Innocence, and we'll see how far I can get in it. See if I get super frustrated and give up, or if I actually manage to finish it. And that's my scary game for Halloween this year. So that's enough. I've rambled on long enough. So I will see you back here next time where maybe I'll have finished Plague Tale Innocence. I don't know. Probably not. So who knows what I might talk about. Find out then. Bye!